Alright guys, welcome back to the tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how you can upgrade your existing mob farm so that it produces a whole lot more mobs. I'll show you how to add layers, completely erase spider spawns, and also make sure that all mobs arrive down at the bottom without dying. This will help you get the maximum amount of XP. So that being said, I'm going to switch over to creative and show you the upgrades I did to this farm. So over here we can see the original farm design, and this is the upgraded one. As you can see, it's got one more layer which allows us to produce loads more mobs, and also a few other modifications which I'll show. So the materials you need to make these modifications are in this chest. These materials over here are in exact quantities. You'll also require some torches and approximately 11 stacks of solid block of your choice. You can use any block as long as it is a solid block. I'm using spruce planks because I said wood is easy to get in the early game. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to build it out of spruce planks. You can build it out of cobblestone, whatever. The material list will be in the description, so check that out. So instead of breaking open the chest, I'm going to carefully grab all these materials and we can begin our modifications. So first we need to add a little barrier right here, so any mobs that fall will fall onto this little buffer area right here. Now also add a little shelter because phantoms could perhaps have got you while you're standing here. Now to sort out the issue that mobs were dying from impact, we have to go up into this area of the farm. I'm just going to break in through the top. The simplest way to solve this issue is to place mines like so. However, as you can see, that skeleton was just standing there on that block. So another modification you could have done is just swap out these blocks for stairs. Now this will make it easier for the mobs to just fall straight through. Now what this means is we have to block up this area because that allows light to come in. So now I'm on the outside and we can just block them off with solid blocks. Also another issue, the vines are growing downwards, which means the mobs could just possibly hang down here, and when they do drop, they'll be on slightly more health because they would have dropped slightly fewer blocks. To resolve that, we can just break these vines and place some signs, and what that will do is prevent the vines from just growing down. So now this area should look like this. As you can probably see, that spider was being a bit of a menace. He's just always getting in the way, and other spiders like this wander over to the corners where they'll reduce the rates of your farm, and I got tons of comments telling me this in my previous video. As you can see, I only used 4 trapdoors in each platform. The way you can completely remove spider spawns is using slightly more trapdoors and placing them as shown. First, break out all other trapdoors, and from the corner count on 1 block diagonally and place a trapdoor like so. Then count 2 blocks to the side, 1 block down, and place another trapdoor. Continue that until you reach the edge of the platform. Then once you reach the edge, count on 2 blocks down and 1 block to the side, and do the same like so. So you have this sort of checkerboard pattern, but these 2x2 areas will allow other mobs to spawn. So you can continue that, and I will put a diagram in the video just to make it a little bit clearer. And overall you should have 12 trapdoors like so. Repeat this on all 4 platforms. And finally, you can kill away these nasty spiders. So altogether, this modification requires 48 trapdoors because you got 4 on each platform. Occasionally, mobs will get stuck like so, but when other mobs spawn, they will naturally just push the other mobs and just fall in like so. So that's nothing to worry about. Next, we got the issue of light coming through on Bedrock Edition. When it's daytime, and I need to remove my night vision for this, you can see that some light seeps through the farm. On Java Edition, you can see that the client light level is completely 0. So mobs can spawn on Java, but if you're on Bedrock Edition, the client light will be changed, and that is caused by these slabs. And also, if you're planning on adding other layers, you'll need to completely remove these slabs as well, and I'm just going to do it using the command. We're going to fill them in with spruce planks or any other solid blocks. So as you can see, all of this is now filled in with spruce planks. And that means on Bedrock, your mobs can officially spawn in these corners right here. Also, what we're going to do is line these edges with solid blocks like so. If you want to add another layer to your farm, dig out the 4 blocks where your drop chute is. Make the walls 2 blocks high using solid blocks. Once you got your walls in, dig out the area directly above these water trenches. And replicate the trapdoor placement that you did on the bottom floor, but on the top floor as well, including these side trapdoors. And then finally, once you got your trapdoors in, you can add a roof to it, which I'm going to do by using some commands. There we got a roof in, and a mob farm is now double tiered. Basically, the farm works the same way. The mobs spawn, you think these blocks are solid blocks, and they'll just fall through into the water. And then last but not least, we need to add torches to the top of the farm to make sure that mobs can't spawn up here. Make sure to add some torches up over here because this area is solid blocks as well. And I almost forgot, all the mobs are now falling onto this block here, so make sure you remove these buffer blocks. First, I'm going to kill all these mobs, and I'm going to show just how much XP you get. Now all the XP has finished, and now I'm just going to set my XP level to 0. So now my XP is completely 0, as you can see. So there we go, I was AFK for around a minute, and let's see how much XP we get. So it went from 8 levels to 16 levels. Now this doesn't necessarily mean that in 1 minute you'll go from 30 levels to 60 levels, because you'll require more experience to level up the more levels you have. And as you can see, none of them when they fall are dying, which is absolutely great, and this is mainly due to the vines that we placed. This farm is much more efficient than any spawner farm that you can build. It's a bit more early game as well, because you don't really need a spawner. You can just build this in the sky, and the most materials that you'll ever need is some iron for the hoppers, and the rest of it is basically made out of wood.